so that like people who can't bleed can't read. Okay, but this highlighter is popping. What's up, everyone? Today's video is Online School 101 because a lot of schools are going to online school, and I was homeschooled for 6 years, so I'm kind of an expert. So basically I wanted to make this video because my college, along with a lot of other colleges, as well as a lot of elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools, are switching to an online format for the rest of the semester due to the whole COVID-19 pandemic. And so as somebody who did online school for 6 years, I wanted to be able to kind of share my tips and tricks and things I found that worked, things that I found didn't work, things that helped me along the way while I was homeschooled, and share it with you guys so that maybe it'll make the semester go a little bit easier. So like I mentioned, I was homeschooled for 6 years, and I also took 7 college classes online in my last year of high school. I actually ended up getting out of high school a year early using those college classes, which was really fun. So basically what I have found with online college classes so far specifically is that it's not a lot different than in your classroom. It's just you basically don't have the classroom aspect. You're gonna still have your textbook, you still have your assignments, you're still gonna turn them in online. And you can email your professor whenever you need to, you kind of lose that face-to-face formatting. However, so far with how we just started with online classes, and my professors actually are using Zoom and they're using Blackboard Collaborate to actually be able to keep the face-to-face aspect. And if your professors are doing that and that works for you, that is really awesome. Go you. The main thing to keep in mind with online college is that it is very, very self-guided. You're kind of having to do everything on your own time. You have to keep up with it all on your own. You don't have a professor telling you every day, hey, don't forget this is due, or something like that. It's really more on your own time, and you have to really kind of learn to kind of manage your time around your schooling, which can be very difficult. One of my biggest tips I can give on time management is to give yourself more time than you think you're going to need, because most likely you're going to get distracted, especially if you're like me and you're very easily distracted. Don't work in a time crunch. Don't start everything right before the deadline, and honestly try to avoid getting yourself into situations where you're going to be working up until the last second, because if you get easily distracted, you might not be able to turn in a fully finished good assignment like you want to. Also, be sure to leave yourself plenty of time to take breaks in between, because breaks are really important. You don't want to just completely fry your brain doing everything all at once for hours and hours at a time without stopping. Take breaks. Take care of yourself. Trust me. I've also found that I actually get less distracted when I'm working on my schoolwork if I take frequent breaks in between doing different things. As I mentioned, keeping focus is also a very big thing, especially, if you're easily distracted like me. And so, yeah, I guess here's some focus tips-ish things. Yeah, probably one of the biggest tips I could give is to separate your work and your rest area. Don't work where you rest. Don't work in your bedroom, or don't work, like, whatever your main rest is, don't work there. You're going to be distracted more easily, and you're not going to be able to focus nearly as much. Another thing to try is listening to instrumental music in the background, and the key word there is instrumental. It cannot be words with lyrics, or you're not going to be able to focus. I found that when I listen to music with lyrics, my brain tries to focus on the lyrics of the song and singing along and all of that more than I'm focusing on what I'm reading, and it's too much for my brain to comprehend trying to read and then hearing other things other words. So I just stick to instrumental music. I tend to usually listen to EDM, a lot of Lindsey Stirling. I really advise Lindsey Stirling if you're trying to focus. Cinematic music is also really good. This one might actually be my favorite tip, and it's also one that really got me through a lot of my online schooling in middle school and high school, and that is if there's a read aloud option, which usually there is, so that like people who can't bleed can't read, or who are blind, can still use online textbooks. Usually you can have it read it aloud to you. Use this, especially if you tend to learn better while listening. Use this. I would actually use this a lot alongside of having a pad of paper next to me and doodling, just kind of like an aimless doodle, not trying to draw a big illustration, but just doodling little things. Because studies have shown that if you're listening to something and you're doodling while you're listening, you're more likely to retain all of that information. One thing that you can try that I found works for me is only work on one subject at a time, or like even one subject a day if you're able. Like, don't switch around from English to math to science to history all in one day, because that's just a lot of different types of information that your brain needs to process, and I found that I did not process it as well if I did all of them in the same day, rather than if I spent one day doing history or one day doing English, one day doing math. I just personally, for me, found that it worked a lot better for my brain, so definitely try that one out. Now, here's some online resources that I found really helped me through a lot of different classes. I'll try to link these down in the bio if I can. First resource I'm going to give, which is probably going to be the biggest and most helpful resource of this whole entire video, is Khan Academy. They have a YouTube channel, they have a website, they have an app, and there's literally just a complete wealth of information there, and it's all good information. There's videos, tutorials, all the way from basic elementary math to college English to microbiology. Anything you want, more than likely it's on Khan Academy. You can always check it out and see if it has what you need in that moment. The best part about Khan Academy is that it's completely free, and you do not even have to have an account to use all of their features. Everything is just free to the public to use. It's truly amazing. If you happen to find that the Khan Academy videos don't help or you can't follow them very well, just go to YouTube and search up videos, especially for math. I found that this really helped. Just try a few different videos for whatever you're trying to figure out and just see what works for you. Another big one that I'm going to give is an app called SOCRATIC. I found this worked a lot whenever I had like different questions, like multiple choice or different things, and I just could not figure it out. Rather than having to type in the entire question on Google and having to scroll through Google and trying to find a good source to give me a good answer, you can literally just take your phone's camera, hold it over the question, and then SOCRATIC will go and find it for you, and it searches Google for you. It tries to find Quizlet usually, or like a good source, and it 99% of the time will give you the right answer. And it's really, really helpful. I actually went through an entire online music appreciation class using almost solely SOCRATIC and ended up with a really easy A. This next resource is basically kind of like a specific one in a broad range of resources, specifically for learning a foreign language if you are in a position to be taking foreign language online, which I unfortunately am in that position currently, so this one is huge for me. I'm taking Spanish 2 right now, so SPANISHDICT has been my absolute lifesaver, especially for vocabulary. It has the conjugation rules of all the verbs, it has usage rules for nouns and verbs, it has, masculine or feminine, and it shows you how it's used in a sentence, which has been really helpful to me in trying to figure out and expand my vocabulary. If you can, try to find a free dictionary that is like English to the language you're learning, or the language you're learning to English, and then it'll really help you and help you get through it, especially if you're taking it online. I took 2 years of high school Spanish online, and it was absolutely the hardest thing ever. I did not use the Spanish-English dictionary, and I feel like I would have done a lot better and understand a lot more if I did. So if you're in a position where you're taking foreign language online, use this. If I'm being completely honest, if you have the choice of whether or not to take foreign language online, don't take it online unless you absolutely have to. Alright, and finally, the classroom discussion boards on like your class site are going to be amazing, because you can ask your professor the questions that you're having trouble with, ask them about it, ask them to explain it better, and not only are you going to get the help you need, but it's going to help everybody else in the class as well, because they can see everything in the discussion boards. And so you're not just helping yourself, but you're helping other people, and that's really great. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope that this helps you in some sort of way, especially if you are new to online school. It's really not as hard as it seems. It's actually just, once you get it figured out, it's really easy. You'll do just fine, I'm sure. Again, I will have all the resources I listed before linked down below for you to go check out whenever you need them. As always, don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.